Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at KASPA. This is a lower time frame video. We do have our higher time frame video up above, so check that out if you haven't already. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so in the previous video, what we were discussing is a couple of potentials here within this structure. Now, within this count, what we were saying is that we were within this blue fourth wave. Now, we have come down and we did react towards this 0324 area as we were talking about in the video. Now, we have had to move to the upside here. We need to be a little bit careful with this because it is showing signs that it could turn into something impulsive, but we need to be just a bit cautious because within the other count, what we could have is a high in place over here, and we could actually be looking for a more substantial drop. As long as we hold this 0324 region, we do have the possibility of actually having this rally up to this area here of this 0662 to this 0559 as a potential fifth wave target area. Now, within this, what we need to be careful of is that there is a potential that this is still in a corrective move, like I said. So because we have that possibility, if we are completed this corrective move into this high that we have over here, what we could be looking for is actually having a deeper move down here towards this 0283 to this 0158 region. That would be the lower range of this. This golden pocket area here at this 203 would also be a very interesting zone to me. Just because of that overlap with this previous wave 4, if this is the case. Now, like I said, we need to be a little bit careful here because if this is still in a corrective move, it could mean that we still have a little bit more downside to come here. So we're going to go over what needs to happen for us to see this impulsive move to the upside in this fifth wave, and then after that we're going to talk about the more bearish scenarios where we could still be looking for that continuation down. Now, if we are looking at this possibility of actually having a break to the upside here, in the previous video, what we were talking about is that we have this as a potential wave 1, and we were looking for this as our wave 2. Now, we did come down towards this 0786 region to this 0.854, which is quite deep as a wave 2, and we need to just be mindful that we do have this 1-to-1 area, which we've actually met here at this 0387. Now, it is possible that this could look to evolve into a bigger 5-wave structure here, where we could either have this as 1-2 here, or we could potentially even argue that internally here we have this as another diagonal 1-2 here, which would allow for this to push up much higher. But I'd still want to see a move up past this 0422 for more clarity that this is actually going to be taking place. Until we actually reach this 1618, we need to be careful that we don't just have a corrective move here, and we could actually see price sell off and look to invalidate this bullish count here by moving below this 0321. Now, if we do move up towards this 0422, what I would then be looking for would be evidence of this fourth and this fifth wave, which could look to push us up here towards 0445 to this 0431, which would be actually bring us back into this high that we got over here. Now, the thing is that if this is actually going to be a fifth wave, like we discussed earlier, where we are saying that we're looking for this higher move, what I would then be anticipating is that this whole move becomes a wave 1, we get a wave 2, we get 3, 4, and 5, and then look to push up in that way, looking for this higher target. If we do, however, have this nestled 1, 2, 1, 2 here, this could actually look to push up directly without having this additional deeper pullback for this wave 2 over here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this to see exactly how it develops. Now, looking at the internals of this, what I would be looking out for here is that if we're looking for that break to the upside, like we talked about here, where this is 1 and 2, there's a couple of ways of reading this move currently to the upside. We could argue here internally that this is extending within the fifth wave, and what this would mean is that we have this move here as 1, 2, this becomes 3, we have this as 4, and then we're looking for this fifth wave. If we do hold this 0374 region, we have the potential here that we could form this as a wave 4 and then see a push up here towards this 0400 to this 03994. If we do see actually price push up in this way into this fifth wave target box, what I would want to see is what happens next, because within this idea of having the fifth wave extension, what we'd be looking out for would that be that this actually becomes a 5-wave structure, and then for us to get more confirmation of continuation, we need to see a 3-wave move back to the downside, holding this 0343 and this 0329. this would be our invalidation of this extension, this red line down here. So if we do see this looking to break up here, what we want to see is 5 waves up, and then we want to see a 3-wave move back down, holding this zone here of this 0361 to this 0343 region. Now, an area of interest here for me would be actually towards this 50%. It seems like quite an interesting zone, just as a horizontal support zone here. Be keeping an eye on that area. If we do look to sweep lower, this golden pocket between this 354 and this 352 could also be an area of interest to keep an eye on. Now, it is also possible, looking at this move slightly different, that we could say that the extension is actually still happening in this 3rd wave. What we have here is that this is 1 2, this actually becomes another 1 2 here, and what we are looking for is this blue 3rd wave to actually complete. The difference here is that within this structure, instead of having a 5th wave up and then having a deeper retracement, what we would get here is we'd get this 5th wave to the upside, then we'd get a smaller 4th wave back down into this range of this previous 4th wave that we've got over here, possibly even looking to retest some of these highs here at this 0373 region, and then looking for that potential of seeing a bigger 5-wave structure to the upside. Now, this would be extending. So what this would mean is that we have, this is 1 2, this is 1 2, this all becomes 3 4 and 5, and then we'd actually still get an additional 4th and a 5th for the yellow 5th wave here. Now, I haven't drawn this in here because it depends how much we extend within this white wave count here. If this looks to extend out much further, it could actually push this wave 3 even higher than we have got it currently marked here at this 0400 to the 0394. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but effectively the idea would remain the same, that if we do have this as another 1 2 here, if this is becoming our 3rd wave, we'd look for this to complete, we'd get a 4th and a 5th, and then we'd still see a 4th and a 5th. Now, this would actually look to be able to then push us up to that target area that we're looking for here of this 0422 region. So this is why it's interesting to me that if we see this pushing up here, we could be looking for this impulsive break to the upside. So this is going to be our key zone. Now, what do we need to be careful of here on the more bearish side? So on the more bearish side here, where we're saying that potentially, you know, we've got a completed move up into this high, and what we could be looking for is a deeper corrective structure, is there's 2 ways that I'm currently looking at it. So we could argue that we have something like this, where we have this as a bigger W, X, Y, X, and a Z pattern. Now, what this would mean is that from the high here, what we have is 3 waves down, we have 3 waves up, we have another 3 waves down into this point here. And what we are looking at is, instead of treating this as 1 2 and then looking for this as a 5-wave structure, what we're saying is that our W wave actually ends here. We have this as a flat, we have this as ABC down into this point, and then we're looking for this as a corrective move to the upside for this X wave. Now, if this is the case, we've actually pushed up here towards this 1.618 already. So what I would be expecting here is that if this is actually just a corrective move, I'd expect this to start to fall away from this point. Now, confirmation only comes with this by breaking this 0328 region, and what we'd then be looking for is the possibility of seeing another move to the downside for this Z wave. So this is why we need to be careful. At the moment, we just have 3-wave structure up, so we could always just look to reject down. If we do look to reject down, some zones of interest would be this 0.618, which would be our minimum requirement for this Z wave, and then we do have our 1-to-1 being much lower down here towards this 260 region. So this would align with actually coming back down deeper into this green support box. So if we see something like this, this could align quite nicely with actually seeing a deeper retracement like that. Now, we were also talking about the possibility that we could have this as W, X, Y, X, and Z. Same idea here, that if we look to push up into this red target box, we could be looking down for another Z wave to the downside. Now, we could also have something like a bigger corrective structure taking place here, where what we're saying is that within the structure, we could have this as a WXY or ABC into this point, and what we would then be looking for is a 3-wave structure up, and then actually seeing a much deeper retracement here. So within this would be saying that this is either W, X, and Y, or A, B, and C. We'll have to see exactly what structure develops afterwards. The 1-to-1, however, would remain the same. This minimum requirement of the 0.618 would also remain the same here at this 290 to this 0242. So this is why it's important, you know, if we failed to actually develop that good impulsive structure to the upside here, and we just develop a 3-wave move which fails to break back above, you know, this 854 region. Really, we need to be cautious that this doesn't just become a corrective structure and we do see continuation and a sell-off to the downside. And areas of interest here would be between this 50% and this 382, which we've already come into. Now we do have this lining up with the 50% over here. We do have a little bit of a level there, as well as that higher up here. We do have some of these highs right up around that 432 to this 439 region, which I would be keeping an eye on. And then even higher up here at the 786, we've got a little bit of confluence with some of these highs. So we'll be watching out for some of these highs here as potential swing failures, but we could continue to push to the upside as long as we continue to follow that bullish count. So it's going to be important here to see how price action reacts. We do have potential here to see a nice big strong rally to the upside, but until we start to take some of these previous B wave and X wave positions of this 0445, for instance, we need to just be very careful that this could just actually look to roll over directly, in which case we could be looking to move back down into that lower support zone once again, looking for this idea of actually seeing price come back down into the zone of the 0283 to this 0158 region, where we could see price, you know, look to find support here and then look to rally from this point. Having a look at the daily CPR lines, we can see that we've actually moved up here. We came back down and we retested this, and we pushed up all the way up to our 4 line. So we've met all of our targets on the daily for today. So now if we do see price continue to push up, this is possible. It doesn't mean that we've hit these targets, it has to stop. But if we do look to push back down, yeah, we'll be watching some of these zones as potential key support zones: 377, 364, 356, and then these central lines here at this 345 to this 340. Now if we do look to actually see price reject to the downside, we lose these central lines. Other targets for today would be this 334, we have 320, 312, and this 299. Now if we now throw this onto the weekly, what we can see here is that we are currently above our central CPR lines. We can see that these were very tightly spread, which was indicating volatility, like we said in the previous video. Now what we've seen is a big push to the upside. We've moved up past our R1 line, and we do have our R2 line up here at this 394. This would align with actually seeing one more push to the upside. So we'll be keeping an eye on this level if we do see that additional push up. Other targets for this week is this 419 to the upside. So this could align with the idea of seeing that bit more of an extension to the upside here. So we're going to be watching that level. If we do see price looking to break down and we start to lose this level here of this 370 as support, we could look to find support back here at this 345, which would be bringing us back into this bit of structure. Losing that, other targets for this week would become 321, 297, and this 273 as potential downside targets for this week. Now moving over here onto the monthly, what we can see is we've actually printed higher CPRs for these. We are also now interacting with these. We've moved up. We had a little bit of resistance at the bottom line here. We have moved up into the central line here at this 0392. And what's going to be interesting is to see how we react. If we do continue to push through this, we could look to turn this into support and then look to challenge this higher area here of this 420. If we do look to actually move back down here, we'll be watching this level here of this 0365, which could actually have turned itself into support if we do look to back test this zone. If we do look to reject off of these central CPR lines, targets to the downside for this month would be 267, 194, and then we have this one all the way down here at this 00068. So need to be careful of that idea, but it doesn't mean we have to move there. These are just potential pivot points within the market. Now if we do see price looking to push up here and we manage to reclaim these central lines, targets to the upside would be this 463, we have this 590, and this 660 as possible upside targets, which would all align with the idea of actually seeing that extension up here in this 5th wave. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we react here, see if we start to build this 5th wave, because we do have some targets within that zone to keep an eye on. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We will see you in the next one. Take care.